Hey guys, so I have come to find that a lot of my subscribers have really good taste in music. Today I'm going to be showing you my ticket stub collection from all the shows that I've been to. Yes, I am one of those crazy human beings that just holds so much value in a piece of paper, but you have to think of it this way. This piece of paper was like a magical little portal into a world of amazing music. So I'm just gonna show them off, and I want you to know that this is in no way, shape, or form trying to brag about all the cool concerts I've been to. That's seriously not what I'm going for here. I've been going to shows for a very, very, very long time. I need you to understand that my parents started bringing me to some of these shows when I was pretty young. My mom was a huge part of my teenage years. She spent buying tickets and taking me to them, and honestly, I can't even tell you how much it means to me, really. I mean, and I have all these great memories to show for it. So, I'm going in absolutely no particular order because these have just been, they're all just, First one on top is Slayer and Rob Zombie. That was a wicked combo. The venue wasn't really right for Slayer's sound. I don't think it was not as good as I'd imagined it to be, but it could have just been the sound guy, who knows. But that was probably my second or third time seeing Rob Zombie, and he never ever disappoints. This one is the Motley Crue final tour, so that's the last one they just did, this last leg that they just finished the other day in Japan, I guess. So yeah, I got this one as a gift, actually. This one was a huge check off my bucket list. It was something I had wanted for way too many years, and it actually happened, and my heart was breaking the entire show because it was just like, holy crap, and that is Black Sabbath. I went and saw them just last year when they were touring, and oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Next up is Marilyn Manson. My mom brought me down to this one, and she loved it just as much as I did. My mom has always been a huge Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson fan, so props to her for that. She really liked it. She sat on top of a garbage can the whole time or something, and I went straight into the pit all by myself. Came out sweaty as F. Next up, this is one from a bar here in town. We went to Cancer Bats and Bat Sabbath. Cancer Bats is Canadian, I believe, so yeah, they come around here quite frequently. Next up is AC/DC. My mom and her boyfriend brought us to this one. It was in a Saddle Dome, and it started raining, actually pouring, and we were just getting soaking wet while listening to the show, and they had these huge squeegees, pushing the water off the stage, but it was just really cool that it was a storm during an AC/DC set. It fit. It couldn't have went any other way. Next up is the Real Mackenzies, and these guys are amazing. If you've never heard any of their stuff, give them a look up on YouTube. I love them so much. Next up is Megadeth. I went and saw them with Motorhead, and I feel like this was a different show than that. So I feel like this one was a long time ago because I can't remember this one that well. 2010. Okay, yeah, that was a long time ago. Then it is Guns N' Roses Chinese Democracy Tour, and gotta tell ya, that was kind of a disappointment a little bit. I mean, Axl's voice was still all there, but it was just kind of it did not feel right at all. I had gone years watching their Japan DVD versions of their live show, so I was in love with that stage set and how that was put up together, but this was just Thank you, Mom, for bringing it to me, and I'm not saying that you wasted your money because I really liked the fact that I've seen Axl Rose live, so it'll be okay, Mom. Next up is the Gruesome Twosome Tour. It was with Alice Cooper and Rob Zombie, so yeah, that's my second Rob Zombie. And then the first Alice Cooper show that I saw, but then I saw him again, which is probably in this pile. But those two together touring just made way too much sense. They're both into gory theatric, and I really like that. I mean, when you think about it, they're both just super shock rock, so them together was just perfect. Next up is Motley Crue. Again, is that my second one? or third. I don't really know. I went to a lot of these. Next up, this one also holds a huge, huge part of my heart, and that is Slash. This one was a milestone for me. Like, this was something that I felt like I needed to accomplish in my life before I died, was to see him in the flesh, because when I was in teenage years, Slash was like my hugest inspiration ever. Like, I read his autobiography and I read so much about him, and just such a good dude. So when I went and saw them here, it was at a tiny little venue, which was awesome. Oh my gosh, I can't even, that night meant so much. And like, my boyfriend at the time, he picked me up on his shoulders, and I know he looked at me. I know it because he was right there. Next up is Casualties and Dayglow Abortions. Casualties are a really, really awesome punk band that have been around for quite some time, kicking ass and taking names. And then Dayglow Abortions, they're from here in Canada, also pretty good band. Next up is Iron Maiden. This was probably the first time I ever went and saw them. I believe I've seen them twice. Really good show nonetheless. I was sitting there like, what? The whole time, because I was pretty young. This one is really old. This is from 2008, so pretty young in that one. Next up is Ozzy Osbourne and Rob Zombie. So I think that's the third Rob Zombie ticket that I've shown now. And that was the first time I'd seen Ozzy, and now I've seen him 3 times, I think. I'm not sure. Oh, these things get confusing. Next up, another Iron Maiden. I did see them twice. Second time wasn't as good, but you know, still an Iron Maiden show, and I still had a lot of fun that day. Next up is Andrew Jackson Jihad, and they are awesome. They're so like lively and pick me up, and this was also in a really small bar, and I really like them, and their lyrics are really obscene, so if you're, you know, underage, maybe don't be playing this in your house. Next up is Roger Waters playing The Wall, so it was kind of like it was a Pink Floyd show, basically, and also one of those mark it off the bucket list, need to see in my life kind of things, and it was so good. It was so good. They actually built up a big wall of, I don't know, cardboard or styrofoam or something, but it was a huge wall, and they friggin' knocked it down, and there was like huge theatrics. It was like a play. It was a play. It wasn't a concert, but he was singing, so he was a concert, and it was just so good. And I think I cried like 3 times during this show. Actually, I know I cried 3 times during this show. Next up is DOA, and that's a Canadian punk band that are also very, very old and have also retired like 14,000 times. They were the first show that I ever watched when I was like 13 years old. My mom took me and my sister to a concert in a college, and it was amazing. Next up is SNFU, which is another Canadian band. Really, really good, super raw punk. Then this is the one that I went to the most recently. It is Cannibal Corpse and Behemoth, and that was a huge metal show we went to on Valentine's Day, and it was awesome. Super good energy, crazy loud, super metal. And this is the one I went to on New Year's with my mom. There's a vlog of it on this channel. It is the Black Label Society tour, and it was on New Year's Eve, and it was super duper fun, really loud, tiny little venue. You were like, I was literally like standing basically like next to him from like above. It was really cool. So that is what I have in my little drawer. I feel like that is a lot of concerts to have gone to, and actually being able to talk about it for like 20 minutes straight. Whoo! Just so you guys know, music has always been a huge part of my life. Growing up, my parents instilled that into me. A lot of my family made music. They were musicians, piano, accordion, acoustic guitar. They played saxophone, they sung, everything. So honestly, if there's anything in this world that I don't ever feel slightly bad about splurging on, it's music related items. So concerts, t-shirts, records, tapes, patches, stickers, anything. So these are the things that I care about. So these are the things that I've invested over my life, and through the last like 10 years I've had some hell of a time in the music industry, that's for sure. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. It was hopefully moderately interesting to you guys. Did you go to any of these tours? Have you seen any of these bands? Any of these bands that you want to see? Let me know in a comment down below. And yeah, I hope to talk to you guys soon. Take care.